All right, hello everyone. Obviously today I'm out, so I'm going to give you the directions on this assignment. Today I'm out today because I'm at Sweetwater with the other APCSB teachers. We're actually talking about the Create PT today. So on Friday, when I come back, we'll have a little discussion on that. Hopefully you have a better understanding of the Create PT and getting that going. So for today's activity, I'd like you to sign on to CodeHS. And from the home page on the left, you'll see in this nav section here, under my playlist, a playlist named after my name, Eric Velasquez. So click on that. And then there are actually two activities, but I'd like you to try one, and that's BuildBox. So Unit 1, BuildBox. Click on that. Okay. So here are the directions for BuildBox. As you can see, Karel starts at 1-1, Avenue 1, Street 1. And Karel's going to end on 1-1 down here. But before that, you need to instruct Karel or build a program instructing Karel to build an 8x8 box by placing balls in that pattern. So your job is to instruct Karel to put balls down in the form of an 8x8 box as shown in the solution world. Hint, use as few lines of code as possible, using for loops instead of sequential instructions. So instead of saying move, put ball, move, put ball, move, put ball, you want to use a for loop that says move, put ball just one time, but you iterate through those instructions a certain number of times. Use the top-down approach. Essentially what that means is that from the top, you're looking at a box. You look a little closer, it's an 8x8 box. Each side it has 8 balls in it, and so on. And then make sure you use correct coding style and include comments, syntax. It's going to tell you if there are any errors. Comments, I'll leave that optional. I won't look at comments, but it's very highly advised you do that. So let's start. You don't have a lot to start with, so you're going to have to build it out yourself. And just to remind you about what Karel can do, if you go to the docs section here, Karel has 4 basic or built-in commands: move, put ball, turn left, and take ball. Which means if you want Karel to turn right, you'll have to build your own function, turn around, or whatever other function you'd like to write. And then these are some of Karel's conditions, just to remind you, and what a for loop looks like. You might want to consider using some while loops as well. So if you do, remember you need to go back to check these conditions, and that there is another set of parentheses after the end of each condition. So that's what it would look like there. Okay. Here is an example for a for loop in which Karel puts down 10 balls, but in this case, Karel will put down 10 balls in one spot. So if you want Karel to move up after each ball is placed, you have to put in a move command. And then this is what comments look like. It's a backslash, asterisk, your comment, and everything in between the asterisk and backslash will not be run in your program. Will not be ran in your program. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so go back to run code. I'll try to do this really quickly just to get you started. So as you can see, the box doesn't start at 1-1, but it starts at 3-3. So I'm going to write my own function called get to start. And that is going to have the unique, and by unique, I mean I'm probably not going to use this set of code again. So this is why I'm building it in its own function. So I need to get Karel to go move up 2 spaces, turn left, and then move up 2 more spaces. So move, and I'll say move because it's, doing it twice, it's probably better than having to write a for loop just to make Karel run through 2 iterations of a command. So move. All right, and then I need to call, actually you can delete this. I need to call this function get to start. And let's run it, see what Karel does, speed it up. And so now Karel's facing north and on that first position for that box there. So then I could start. So I want to build the box, but I'm not going to build the box. I'm going to write a function called build. Let's call it build side. I'm not going to call it build wall, but let's call it build side. And for the side, I want to place 8 balls in a row. So again, we're going to use a for loop, and for the for loop, I'm going to use the variable I, set it to 0, semicolon, I is less than 8. We want Karel to iterate through this function, this for loop 8 times, and after each time adds 1 to the variable I. And then, like I said earlier, we can't just put ball 8 times because Karel's just going to put 8 balls in one spot. So we need to get Karel to move after each time she places a ball. So let's reset this and run it. Might have forgotten to call this function. So remember, writing a function is one thing, but nothing's going to happen unless you call it. Okay, so as you can see, Karel is doing as she's told and building that wall. Just a little fix. She's doing the right thing, but I want to write this in as few lines of code as possible. So I might take out this extra move command. But instead of Karel starting in this position, I think what I'll do is I'll take one move command out of here. That way Karel's going to actually start in this position. So 3, 1 instead of 3, no, sorry, 3, 2 instead of 3, 3. So let's see what that does. Okay. So Karel ends up in the right spot, the one I want her to stop in, but she started here. So I want to put the ball there, but not start or actually move and then start putting the ball. So I'm going to flip-flop these commands here and make sure I have the right tabbing here and here. Reset and run. Okay, so Karel started in the right spot, put 8 balls, and ends up here. So this way, all I have to do from here is turn right. Actually, it needs to go up here. Turn right, and then build side, right? And real quick, because build or turn right is not built in, turn right, blah, 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 turn left, and 3 is another, I would go with 3 before I have to start writing for loops. I mean, you can write out 3 turn left commands just as quickly as you can write out a for loop, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna leave the rest to you. As you can see, Karel laid down an extra ball, so I actually wouldn't want 8 here. So I'll leave it up to you. You can either start by placing a ball and then running a for loop for 7 balls. But again, I'll leave it up to you. I just wanted to get you started. I didn't want to do the whole thing for you. So there it is, and I will leave the rest up to you. When you're done, if you submit it, it'll check the functionality. It didn't end up where it's supposed to be, so it'll check the box and make sure Karel's back in the first position. And then if not, you'll get that message and go back, but go ahead and submit it when you're finished, and that'll be it. Thank you, and I'll see you on Friday.